And we are live, baby. Woo! We are live. Okay. I am, in theory, more well-rested than I was at the end of last night's stream. Look, one of these days I'm gonna remember, before I start streaming, that I need to stream. And, or, maybe, in theory, I will, what's the word? You know, have like a start stream type thing so that I can do this without being on. But for right now, for who I am as a person, we ain't gonna have that, boys. So my phone is never quiet as I think it is. So, give me a second as I share the links and all that good stuff. Share, copy link, send it to my mom, send it to my dad, send it to my cousin. I'm joking, I'm just gonna send it to the nerds, which is me and everyone who for some reason believes in my ability. Okay, at StreamPing. I'm glad no one's usually here for the very beginning of this, where I just ramble and do whatever this is. Okay, and then switch to my Twitter account and not Tsune's. Okay. Live now on YouTube, boys. Probably should have said what I was doing in the stream. Whatever. And then we post. Gosh, let me paste. There we go. Pretty sure that's the right one. I don't know. For some reason, my clipboard had like 20 different links on it, so hopefully that was the right one. I didn't send horrible memes on my Twitter. No one can know the bad memes I like. Okay, let's do this, boys. So this is the sketch I have from last night, and now this is gonna sound kind of snotty, but clearly I was tired when I drew it. It's not that it's bad. It just feels very like first sketch to me. So we'll merge that down with this one. And then okay. I think I figured it out. I think I know what we're gonna do. I'm going to redraw the whole thing. Not the whole thing as like, oh, it's all horrible, but I think I'm probably going to start with a chibi pose and then more refine that pose. I don't think I like the pose he's currently in. I don't really mind the walking stance. The hands are what's weird to me. Give me a second. I'm opening non-named beverage because no one's sponsoring me. So I can't name what it is, but it is in a can. I can tell you that much. Liquid. So let's see here. I originally had him in this more splayed out pose. I think that's fine, but it's not speaking to me as this like almost physically imposing guy. I think I want him a lot more tucked in, and that's probably what's going to help him feel as intimidating as he is. So let's do a couple little oops. I'm facing the wrong monitor, I just realized. I gotta face this one, because that's where my mic is. I kind of hate that all my men kind of look the same, but also all the girls also look the same, so I think it's fine. I think I just have very gendered characters, which, all things considered, there could be way worse things in this world. I should probably talk about Sam since I'm drawing him. So he isn't super defined yet. I know where I want him to eventually go in the story. Don't know how we're necessarily going to get there. He's one of those characters. It's like he has an end goal, How do we get to the end goal? Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. But he has RBF. He looks super mean all the time, but he's actually not. If anything, he's mostly apathetic. Apathetic, kind of a peacekeeper. He's not like the kind of person who's gonna get on your tail about it. Of like, guys, we have to get along. We have to be a team. It's more of just like, I'm not gonna get involved in this. I recommend you don't want to get involved with this. Very, very low energy person for the most part. He can get very high energy. Like, especially if you get him revved up. He's very dog-like. Kind of the personality of one of those more introverted huskies is kind of my idea. Because I guess that's how wolves are in my brain. I'm like, well, huskies, they look similar to wolves, so they must act similar too. But that's not necessarily true. Okay, curve that eye a little bit. Fun fact about me, whenever I draw faces, I tend to focus on the eyes first. I'm like, I have to get the eyes in, and then I can start drawing the rest of the head. And I have no idea why that is. And I may never know why that is. I just know that it is, in fact, a thing that I do. Not the eyebrows. The eyebrows are actually very new. I used to not draw eyebrows at all. And that was like the one critique my friend had for me. She was like, I get that it's a style choice that you don't draw eyebrows on your characters. And I can get that like they can be like situational. But why? I really don't like it. And I was like, I can't do eyebrows. They always change the overall expression of my character, and that was just something I didn't want to focus in on at the time. So I just didn't. And it worked fine enough. I was able to get my point across whenever I needed with my art, but it is a natural progression of something I have to do. Kind of like hands, where it's like, yeah, I can do like paws and stuff, but that'll only last me so long before someone is like, no, you have to try at least. I think that's the thing about a lot of art. If you want to try and change everything really fast, it's going to be bad and messy. So you just got to figure out at what point does something have to be learned, and learn it then. Don't try to learn too much at once, if that makes sense. Okay, a little bit of that. I've seen so many art tutorials where it's like, don't just draw the head first, you have to draw the whole body. And while I get that, and I think that is good advice, I can't do it. I have to build part by part, for whatever reason. I have his eyes looking up. I think it would actually make more sense, because he is one of the taller members, for his eyes to be looking down. This would probably be the view most shots of him would be, aside from his own content he would make. Because he physically just has to look down on people. Not because he's mean or aggressive, he's big boy. And then collar of his shirt. Not necessarily collar of his shirt, but like, that's how my brain processes where the neck is, so then I know how to do the shoulders. We can turn that off for now. I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. I don't want him to have too much of a puffed chest. I feel like he would kind of, because he is a more looming character, be more hunched over. Not fully hunched like a gamer shrimp that I am right now, but, you know, just slightly being like, I physically need to get closer to where this small person is to hear what they're saying. I'm making him sound like a jerk. He's not, I promise, guys. He is going to be a sweetheart. But honestly, if I'm going to have him be more bent over, I should probably have that in his slightly tilt to the neck, and then have the head just slightly bobbed down more. Maybe have a slight tilt to it too. That. I think that's giving more of the indication of bending over than the other pose had. He does have less of a neck at this angle, but that's something I also need to get better at, not just have beautiful, long, straight necks all the time, even though that's what I want in my art. Slight curve here, rib, rib, taper, that, shoulder, shoulder. He can have slightly more rib than that. Okay, and then just his hips slightly sent back. Have more curve to this as his pelvis will curve like that. Am I channeling any Legoshi in this design? Maybe. Maybe I am. I feel like Legoshi is way more timid than Sam's is, though. At least in Season 1 of Beastars. Never got to Season 2 because Netflix released Cuties, so my family got rid of the subscription, which I agree is for the best, but also I saw a clip of one part of, I think, Season 2 of Beastars, and man, I wish I had the context to it. Isn't that everything, though? Okay. I don't think that waist is right. How does one bend over? Okay. First off, his waist would feel more set back because we're getting a slot of like that. And then... Oh, hi! Welcome back. I'm rambling to myself. Trying to figure out how backs work, you know. Common man's issue. I feel like maybe it would be like that, and that should help. Once again, I don't want him to be like too hunched over, just slight bowing in his body. I have the like live stream analytics going right now, and it's so funny when one person tunes in because it's like flatline and pew! Because it's working on such a small scale. It's just funny. I'm drawing Sam's and trying to describe him. Hey, welcome back. It's great to see y'all again. We're drawing Sam's. And if you're saying, hey, that's not where we left off last night, you're right. I was looking at it and I wasn't liking it. I still have it. I still have it as layer. We haven't deleted it yet, but it's not, it's, I want to try something else quick first. Okay. And have the pelvis tilt forward again. To have that more slightly bowed tummy. Chat, right? What does that mean? Okay, I think also by this, his waist would be seemingly higher up. And probably more backwards, something like that. So yeah, his tummy would feed into his pelvis more this way. I think that's about right. And obviously I can go in and smooth things up as I prefer. But I think this is a better, more dynamic, more telling pose than before. So how are y'all doing? How's your night been? Why'd I say it like that? I do think I still want him to have that, like, just slightly leg spread type thing. I like how I started this and I was like, I'm gonna make it scary. And then I was like, no, I was gonna be a big puppy. Grandma gave you a new sketchbook 5 seconds ago? Nice. Nothing better than a new sketchbook. Except for all the sketchbooks you have. I'm speaking from personal experience. I have like 10 sketchbooks. I'm like, I'm gonna fill them with great art. Ooh, an 11th sketchbook, you say? Nice. Nothing better than new sketchbooks. Okay, give him legs. Controversial, I know. I like my men with legs. I don't like drawing them with legs. I just like them to have them. Okay, that feels too spread out, but I think it's because I drew this thigh wrong. Okay. Have that stretched down, curve there. No, his knee should be slightly bent, I think. I think that's what I'm seeing in my own art. So fun fact, whenever I do art trades and take like 5 years, it's because I'm doing stupid things like this. I'm like, do you like this pose? And they're like, yeah, and I just keep doing it. I eat dinner, it's hot and hurts. Burning your mouth and hot food. No. No. Okay. Something like that. Who would he be talking to? I'm not sure. Because Sam's is smaller than him, but not enough that he would have to bend like this. I'm guessing he'd probably be talking to Angel, or maybe Sue, or one of the twins. Because those are all people who are a good amount shorter than him, as he's the tallest member. But also maybe he doesn't bend down for Richie because he sees him as his equal. He's like, nah, you're just my bro, my dude, my absolute unit. You have like 28 sketchbooks? Oof. How many of them are full? This is the expose part. Okay. Nah, okay. Don't get me wrong. I am feeling the bent knees, but because it makes more, you know, having 2 of them filled, that's better than what I have. Because I get distracted so easy, sorry. Because he is having that bent, and it does make sense for him to be talking to someone slightly taller, I am gonna have him with more straight, closed legs, I think. In which case, they need to be slightly forward because the center of gravity is actually like here-ish instead of here. He got long legs. Jack Skellington. And we gotta give him shoujo legs. Very nice, thin, slender, beautiful leg. I just feel like I never know how to pose legs. It's like my hard thing to do. Knees curve in slightly. Okay. So with this pose, I think I will have his head bow down just slightly more. I feel like he's talking to someone way tinier than him, than even the bent knees. No. Okay, I know how to fix this. Maybe. Maybe I don't. But give him just a slight pop in this knee. I think that'll help at least make it appear slightly more casual. Unless I'm physically going to crush you. And then maybe also have this slightly less exaggerated. I think maybe? I don't know. I think this is definitely better pose than yesterday, and I think this is a slightly better pose than I had just before. And it all depends on what I do with the arms, which is even harder to pose than the legs, naturally. So we'll just draw a quick little sketch for the feet first. His knee is here, so yeah, that's about right. Then, very similarly, this, but you have more elonging of the foot. Do the raised knee. Foot would actually end way sooner than that. It would be something more like that, I think. Anytime I seem confident, know that I'm not. Like. Thank you for the like. If I wanted to, I could draw him with a frickin' AirPod. He's just listening to his commentary videos and someone stops him and he's just, hey, yo, what? I feel like that would make sense. That would also, like, be people see him in public and they're like, oh, he's so brooding and mysterious. I wonder what he's thinking. And then he's just listening to, like, I don't know, frickin' Turkey Tom or something. It's just like, man, gotta love kick degenerates. Second like, thank you for the second like. I think I might draw him with a frickin' AirPod. Because also you have to keep in mind, he couldn't wear headphones. It's the Zootopia conundrum of if you have animal ears, even though technically most, at least mammals to my knowledge, I'm not sure about fish and birds, their eardrums are still like in the same place where humans are, but then they have these ears right here that they do connect, but then these ears will like help them direct sound and whatnot. So technically, if they did wear headphones, they could hear it. Do I like the singer Miku? We're talking Miku, Miku, Moo-ee-you. I'm on top of... Yeah, I like her casual bit. She's not my favorite Vocaloid, though. What are you listening to? I'm listening to my favorite podcast. It's like super insightful. Oh, what is it? It's called, give me a second, let me pull it up here. 10-hour Happy Dog Barking Compilation. Okay, so I know what you're thinking, but let me explain. Totally see that, too. I've definitely put those sounds on before for, like, my dogs. And usually they don't care until one of the dogs in the video gets, like, a squeaker toy, and they're like, real? Squeaker toy hours, boys? Something like this. I always feel this when I have my earbuds in at work. My bosses don't talk to me for like 3 hours, so I'm listening to music, and then all of a sudden they're just like, so, what are you doing this weekend? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, you've pulled me out of my situation, what? Is Gumi. She's pretty good. I like some of the songs. Mine is, what's his name? Oliver. He's one of the few English Vocaloids, and he is also the program that they run Puppy Cat's voice through. So, it's nice. He does have very emo songs, I will say that about Oliver, despite being a child. But I think that's, like, part of the appeal. Okay, how does that hand look at that angle? So you got the thumb here. It's activated. Got a little earbud here. We'll draw what it actually looks like later. Another fingertip here. Send that back a little bit. Curve up. Okay. And then kind of just have the rest of the fingers naturally falling out like this. Just becoming slightly more activated as they get closer. Something like that. And then his arm. Very relaxed pose, so he doesn't need his arms to be all hiked up. I want his arm to be there, or well, his hand to be there. I actually need to send out his elbow way further, to like here. Something like that. Once again, just very lazy arms, kind of. There we go. I know we still have this arm. I'm probably still just going to put it in his pocket because he feels like a pocket walker. I feel like, give me a second, we're going to pop up. I remember what the plan is. No, erase that. I feel like the red pose is much more interesting than the blue pose. At least personally. Bedazzled Uno reverse card. Uno reverse card for what? Unless you're just talking about me deleting all my stuff, in which case, always. When in doubt, delete everything. That's how you get to be a great artist, because you keep redrawing the same things over and over. Yes. I think Sam's was probably, I'm trying to think. He was probably, in regard to the project, the third or so character I had in mind, but I haven't drawn him until basically like this week. You're drawing Miku right now. I drew Miku a couple months ago, I think. It was in a video I recorded. And it made me realize, like, in her default base costume, she doesn't have a lot of hair. She has like 2 strands. I drew her with very massive fluffy hair because that's kind of my thing, but I noticed that and I thought it was really funny. Okay. I'm gonna sketch out his hand even though I'm not gonna draw it necessarily, just so we have an idea. His thumb would probably be here. This finger would be more curled in. Curled in. What's he holding on to? I don't know, biscuit, maybe. I don't know, I feel like, in theory, my hand should be flat when I have it in pockets. I feel like I like to bundle into fist, though, and I don't know why. It's probably because I have girl pockets, and girl pockets don't support a flat hand. Too big. Too phone-sized for that. Go. Just add his wispy bangs. His face framing pieces that will fall slightly more in his face due to his leaning nature in this pose. Go Make Duos version magazine. I think he was probably like the second character I had conceptualized, because I forgot what my train of thought was. As always. Okay. First off, I want to add more fluff to these ears. I know that they're wolf ears and are like somewhat sleek, but come on, guys. How could I not? Give them a little bit more bang there. Fluff here. He has his ponytail hair, which we just get a glimpse of in this pose. We don't get to see most of it. I'm sorry. Where did that line come from? There. An idea? Is that what that is? Is that a light bulb? I think it is. Yeah. Because I thought it'd be really funny to have an alpha male character. So originally he was more golden retriever than wolf, but as time went on, I wanted to each character to kind of I wanted there to be a false theme that I then rip away from you, because I think that's beautiful and manipulative. Okay, so from this pose, his dog tag would hang down more so here-ish. You can't really see much from his turtleneck other than a couple folds, I think, would be. You know what I should have looked up? References of what the frick a trench coat looks like. Nope, I was looking at varsity jackets today. Not because I'm a varsity student. I'm way past my high school days. I was just looking at them because apparently you can get your own custom ordered varsity jacket on Etsy. And I was wondering, ooh, can I abuse the system and make very big nerd thing? Mayhaps. Okay. Now that I'm looking at his arm, something does look off. I'm trying to figure out what it would be. I think it's just the placement of it. Like if he had it in his pant pocket, it would kind of be fine. Still, once again, it would have to be cocked a little bit higher. Not quite sure. I feel like his jaw's definitely too long, but I'll fix that when I fix it. You're freezing right now? Put on a coat. That's my pro tip. I don't touch the thermostat. If it's too cold, I just put on a coat, because I'll be warm in 5 minutes. You know, I think, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of an active arm. I think I want a passive arm. We have this arm being active, we can have this one being more passive. Kind of just hanging down and low. Maybe a slight bend in the elbow, but mostly just not much of anything in this hand, I think. Oh no, do you have a fever maybe? That's the only thing I can think of if you're... Well, there are certain types of like freezing cold that I've been in, where it's just you're like so cold that it doesn't matter how fast you rapidly heat yourself up. You just like have to wait it out until it finally hits. But that usually happens during like snowstorms. So, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't think I'm going to be happy with that arm, so we're going to go back to what it was originally. And I'll figure out what I don't like about it later. Maybe it's that I don't think he's bowed enough. I don't know. Well, now I'm looking at this like forearm's way too big, I think. So I like physical art. That is what I was trained in. But I do really love digital art and how easy it is to go and like fix things. Mom's air conditioning is on the highest level. This was back in the good old days, but we would go to like my aunt's house for breakfast on Christmas, and she doesn't use the heater at all, so it was always super cold at her house. And then we would go to my uncle's for dinner, and he would have the heater on max, he'd have the fireplace going, and there would be like 20 people in it. It was so hot. So it was just like you were screwed no matter what. You had to do a costume change, otherwise you were just gonna die at one of their houses or the others. Maybe his head's too big? Is that maybe what I'm looking at that I'm not liking? Oh. Just might be the slightest bit too big. Yep, I think that was it. Okay. Maybe I should just draw him in something basic, because this isn't his character design. This is like the concepting sheet. In which case I should draw him in his like fancy clothes or whatever, you know? I think the angle of this knee is wrong. I think it would be more straightened. He's not super profile at this point. It'd just be something like that. I'm like focusing on the weirdest things right now before I clothe this man for whatever reason. I want him to be more snatched. I'll admit it. I'll admit my agenda. Snatched boy summer. Okay. I'll just give him a couple poops. I'll give him the same eye treatment I give Angel, of those like slight. What's your favorite music? It changes every week, dude. I got so many. In high school, I performed in my first and only musical, which makes it my favorite by default, in like regards of performance, even though I actually did not like anyone in that production, because that's when I learned that the theater kids at my high school were monsters. But that was Legally Blonde. So that Legally Blonde holds a special place in my heart. Every so often I'll just like go back and listen to the soundtrack, and I'm like, man, I had all these songs memorized, and guess what? I still do. I was just a background character in it. But then I got to college, and I never participated in any musicals there. Kind of wish I did. But I fell in love with the soundtrack from Beetlejuice the musical. It inspired me to do probably one of the best projects I did. It was just very coincidental. It was movie posters. Your favorite School of Rock? School of Rock's pretty good. It's pretty funny. If I'm remembering which one it is right, but I might not. So this isn't a musical per se. It is a theater broadcast that is in the style of a musical. They call it a pod musical. And I never listened to season 3, so I can't attest to how good anything in season 3 is. But season 1 and 2, and it was called, what was it? The Fall of the House of Sunshine. And I think I just like it because it's so absurd. I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it's a murder mystery turned into like Lovecraftian horror, but it's a comedy. I don't know, like, that's probably the best way I can describe it. Where they're just like, yes, you know, the elder beings, and it's good and evil? No. God and the devil? Of course not. Don't be silly. Everyone knows what the two true forces in the universe are. It was so ridiculous that how could I not love that? But currently I'm really into, what is it? I'm blanking on their names. Star Kid Productions? Well, I don't know if they're productions, but they're the production group Star Kid on YouTube. They have a couple musicals, and I'm really focused in on their musical, Nerdy Prudes Must Die. But apparently, like, the entire story goes through all their musicals, which I think is beautiful if that's true, and I will have to look into, because that is my type of nerd. But I've been listening to Nerdy Prude Must Die soundtrack, and some of the songs are like, I listen to them and I cringe a little bit, but also I know I'm a little cringe on the inside, so it's fine. Wait, what to which? I've been rambling. Your mom got you a calligraphy pen? Nice. My sister's really into calligraphy. I have atrocious handwriting, as seen right here, featuring my bad handwriting. We're gonna have that just do a little bit of a peeking, so we can still see his leg more or less. And then this side will be a lot more open and go on the outside of his knee. So we can still see that nice little chestage. And that. I'll give him little patches on his elbows. I feel like that's a thing on, like, educated men's. Just little elbow patches because they wear them out so much or something like that. I don't know. My brother doesn't have that, and he teaches at a university. This is just kit lore. Don't worry about it, guys. It's not important. I have a lot of siblings. I still want to give him like a slightly tiered coat just because I find those very fun to draw. Be something kind of like this is what I'm thinking. And then of course we add the slack folds. Fun fact, my sister was the one who taught me how to draw pants because she really liked to draw, who was it? White from Pokemon. So sometimes she would have to draw black with her. She got pretty good at drawing pants, and that's how I've kind of always drawn pants after that. Okay. I'm just gonna leave him in like more or less socks right now. But I think this, guys, is way better than this. I feel like this gives you a lot more indication on how he is perceived and seen. So, OMG, same to what? I have a really long stream delay, I gotta be honest, guys. It's in case I say a bad word, I can censor it, except I don't know how to do that. So there's just a long delay, and I'm sure I could look up how to change it, but I don't. Okay, so now that we have this, we can draw his face, his little bust shot from the front. And then we can draw a chibi, and then I'll probably call it a night. Because, oh gosh, it's almost 11. Did not realize it would take me that long to draw him. Okay. So move him a little bit further over here. Erase that scribble. Then get his little face here. So fun fact, I draw in 3/4 all the time because I hate drawing faces straight on. I just feel like I'm so bad at them. I can't put the ink in my calligraphy pen. So like I said, my handwriting's bad, so I've never tried with calligraphy. Much to the like chagrin of people around me. Because it's not that I am necessarily bad at it, but I'm always like, well, why would I do calligraphy when I can just like draw the letter? Like, well, this is gonna be super bad because it's from memory, but I was obsessed with Death Note when I was in like middle school, high school, and the Detective L has a very beautiful, like, old English style lettering for his, like, notations. I think I'm getting it all wrong, but bear with me here. So I really liked that L, and I found out how to write, I found, like, the font they had used as reference, so I used that font to write my name, because I also have an L in my name. And people were like, that's so pretty. Obviously you know how to do calligraphy because you did that. And I was like, no, this is 100% through drawing and sketching. I don't know how to do calligraphy to save my life. My sister can do this with a pen. My mother can do this with like a fat tip marker, which was always so, I loved getting bagged lunches because she would write our names on it so fancy because it was something her brother's ex-girlfriend taught her. And it just stuck with her for life for whatever reason. But I don't have that finesse and fancifulness. But it was something like this. So people would see that and they'd be like, oh, you know calligraphy, that's cool. And I'm like, I don't. I just know how to draw a really frickin' fancy L for no reason. Like, logically, this wouldn't be too hard to do. But emotionally, this will be the hardest thing I could ever do. I feel like I'm missing something with it, but it's fine. And now, for whatever reason, I have a big L on my page. Because he's a loser. No, he's not. Okay, first off, get my page straight again on my monitor. Second off, move those eyes a little bit lower. I am notorious for drawing my eyes at very most only halfway up the head. I like to have it lower for whatever reason. And then he has a puppy nose. And it's not that he necessarily has a puppy nose, but that's how I define it. So each of the men have slightly different noses compared to the women who have like basically the same nose because I like little button noses. Or, you know, like the type of nose that's just a little boop instead of a wah, wah. I'll do the second one on my male characters. So he is just like a little shadow for his nose. Muko has he'll have a, kind of just like the highlight, except I shade it. He'll have that as his nose. And then, oh gosh, what did I have for Striker? Striker, I think Striker was going to be something more like this. Keep in mind, I am not going to draw them front facing most of the time. But I think Striker, I was going to make sure to always include the bridge. Bakugo looking eyes. Then just give him a nice thick lash line on top. You got the ink? Nice. Here's a question for y'all. Do you ever draw with ink? As in like that You don't do a sketch with pencil, you don't do it, you just go straight in with the ink. I have done it a few times. I am so bad at it. I'm not confident enough for it. And then give you that slight shadow treatment that Yummy has. Not really, no. I remember, so only one person took up the offer, and then they ended up spraining their wrist, so they didn't even, like, finish the project. My teacher was like, you could do this thing in charcoal, or you could do it in graphite, or you could do it in ballpoint pen. And it wasn't like a tiny drawing. It was all like 18 by 24 inch. And I was just like, sir, what the heck is wrong with you? And like, I remember I asked, can I do a graphite sketch of the thing under it? And he was like, no, you can't. And I'm like, what psychopath would do this? My friend would, apparently. She was the one who did it. And she sprained her wrist, so she only had to do a very small thing because, of course, it was her dominant wrist she sprained. And it was just physically too painful to do much of it. And to be fair, she did recover very well. But just like, bad timing. Go. Big puppy ears. I think the difference in how I draw wolf ears, cat ears, and fox ears are all how attached it is at the joints. Good for her? Yeah. I wonder how she's doing in life. She lived a crazy life. 'Cause I think graphic design was her second option. And I don't mean second option as like she got rejected from her first option. I mean she went to her first option, said, actually I don't like this, and then left and went to school for graphic design. She knew multiple languages. She was risky as all heck. I remember when she was like, I went skydiving this weekend. You guys should come with me next weekend. And we were like, what's wrong with you? But she was crazy. I hope she's doing good. She was bold as all heck, but she did not, I will say, for as bold as she did not like to ruffle too many feathers when it came to the professors. Which, like, good for her, but also, I'm petty. I was a slight feather ruffler, if I'm being honest. Just very slight, not too much. Rather fluther, rough, rubber, fluffer, 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 ruff, ruff. Okay. Once again, I think I drew his chin a little bit too high for my liking, so we're just gonna migrate that up just a little bit. I'm aware that the smaller chin does give them a slightly more youthful appearance, but I just like how it looks way more. Maybe a little bit longer than that. It's the age-old question of how long. How long is long, man? Or whatever that candy commercial that lives in my head only a little bit rent-free is. Okay, that's good. And then we'll do a little chibi of him in the corner. Guys, how kawaii should he be in this little chibi sketch? And by that I mean, what should he be doing? Just erase that real quick. That was annoying me. I might just have him in like a little ball form. And I don't mean like ball like, I'm blanking on what they're called, like little country mochi things. I mean like how I drew Haida once. Because of course I liked a Gretzko. Of course I like a Gretzko. Actually, it would make more sense for me to draw him how I drew Fenico. Which I think was looking at her phone. And then I meant to draw Retsuko, and I never did. Little grump boy. I love stickers. Stickers are great. Not to plug my own stuff, but stickers are life. Not to plug my own stuff, but I did do a couple sticker designs for my webcomic that I meant to print out, and then I printed them on the wrong side of the sticker sheet, and then I was like, I'll fix this later, and then I never went back and revisited it later. Which I think is a great example of who I am as a person. Have his ears just slightly pitched forward. But at the end of each chapter, I forgot I was talking. You have over 120 stickers. Do you use the stickers or do you just look at them? Because I have a lot of stickers and I just look at them. I'm like, I gotta find the perfect place to put this, and there is no perfect place. But I include like a little sticker design for her at the end of each chapter where she's just like cute and round and all that good stuff. Little paws. You do use them for your sketchbook cover? Nice. I remember in high school we had like the environment club, and they'd give you a sticker if you brought Tupperware and showed it to them on Tuesdays. It was called Tupperware Tuesday. And my mom packed me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every single day of my life, so you know I was cashing in on that Tupperware Tuesday deal. But then I was always like hesitant of what I was going to do with the stickers, so I just left them in my backpack and they got super dirty, and I think I threw them away, but I might also still have them at my mom's house somewhere. I'm not sure. Noodle hands. I think I'd have to change the angle of this, so we'll just boop, boop. His body slightly pitched like that. Shoulders, rib, hip, leg, tail. I always think I'm really bad at drawing, but I'm actually kind of decent at it, I think, looking at how easy that apparently was for me to conceptualize. You have 508 you have so many stickers. I guess the question next is, are these like big stickers like 2" by 2" plus, or are these stickers like sticker sheet stickers? I just realized I might have drawn... I did a raffle the other day on Twitter. I might have just realized, I think I might have drawn the legs wrong on the person. I think I might have had these like stubby legs, these almost like hooven legs. I think I might have given them like actual proper feet. It's fine, because it was just like, I'll get a raffle in this style, and the style could have just been, you know, my art style. You guys have both of them? Okay. That makes it slightly less insane to have so many. It reminds me, though, I did say I was going to make a sticker sheet for my nephew. I always have, like, 20 projects going on at all times. So if I ever am not making YouTube content, there's a reason. That's my excuse right here, right now. I'll add slight pant fold here. Little loafer, heels. Oh, I was like, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm missing his face framing pieces. Which are very important to how he looks. Oh, I drew him so itty bitty. And then I'll probably redraw his tail so we can actually see it behind his coat. So just resize everything to be more visible with one another. Okay, boop. That up a little bit, increase the size. I'm gonna quickly sketch a neck and some shoulders on this. I just realized I've been waiting all day. Oh, that's very flattering. I will say I don't go live very often. It'll most likely be a weekend type thing. I think I'll be here next weekend. I'm visiting my sister in the upcoming weeks. I'm trying to remember when. I think it's for 4th of July, though, so I think I should be here next week in theory. Because you'll never know. Like, I might get super busy or something. I hope not. I don't like being super busy on the weekends. Unless it's like, you know, something I'm like, I'm doing this. Like, I redid like my entire windowsill today to look nicer, and I think I succeeded. But, you know, a very like self-dictated type thing. Okay, I think this is good. We're gonna write Sam's here. I'll probably clean this up off stream sometime, because I have to if I want to have more than my like really rough thing I have just for Sue posted on there. It's 11:18. I know I haven't been streaming for super long, just slightly over an hour, but I'm tired. I'm sorry, I'm being cringe, but I should head to bed. Wendy's already passed out without me. But thank you guys so much for coming. I love talking to you two. It's so much fun. You guys are the real MVPs, the real absolute stars. And thank you for joining me as I draw Sam's, my stoic wolf boy, who was originally a golden retriever. How did we go to that from there to there? Not sure. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye! Hearts, hugs and kisses, hugs and kisses. And yes, I stole that from Creepcast. Okay, bye.